Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I'm Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Riverdale Season 1, Episode 13. It is the season finale. It is called Chapter 13, The Sweet Hereafter. Full spoilers for the episode, as always.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
I'll be honest, I didn't dislike the episode, but the last 10-15 minutes, there was a moment where I went, wait, how much crazy shit's happening before this ends? Because it felt like they kept doing new things towards the end.
Yeah.
Like, they kept packing all this stuff in. And some of it made sense, and some of it felt kind of random, and maybe just kind of set up for next season. But it felt like it was just stuff to stuff.
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange episode for me because, like you say, so much of it was spent just stuffing in extra bits. A lot of it for presumably next season, and it feels like they didn't have a full episode's worth of content that they wanted to shoot after the ending, of the mystery.
Yeah.
But they had too much to stuff in one episode with it.
There's a couple of things you could have taken out, just because it already felt like a crazy. Because honestly, I think there was enough to do an episode on. Just the idea that Jughead might have to leave and go to this other school, and them try to convince him back. Combine that with Cheryl's attempted suicide. There you go. That's an episode.
I mean, normally I would agree, but they didn't spend enough time on either of them to make me think that they
Well,
were.
well, well, they didn't, but they could have. Like, they could have done that with those two
Yeah,
plots. That could have easily been the whole episode. And I don't even mind it, even though the ending felt really random. I don't necessarily mind it because that does feel like a one big thing to happen. It's like this is maybe the start of the mystery for season 2. Although it wasn't the supernatural swerve I was hoping for, you bastards. But and it was actually a really well shot scene, that final scene. Like it was nice and tense. Built up the Archie comes in and he pops to talk to his dad, and this just random gunman comes in. Although I have a sneaking suspicion it's not as random as it seems, because
nah, that'd be too easy, wouldn't it?
Archie's dad was refusing to be bought out of his partnership with the lodges, and I have a sneaking suspicion that someone with the initials HL, whichever one that may be, put out this hit, and it was made to look like it was a random thingamabob.
It's very, very possible that that is the case.
That's it. Like I said, I thought it was well shot though. It was well handled. The tense, because obviously Fred's doesn't want Archie to get hit, and they kind of, because Archie's going to play the hero, and he's going to. Do you know what I thought was really funny though? Archie's whole plot this episode was kind of, I'm sick of not being able to do anything, and that's kind of meta and funny because for a long time he felt like he didn't have anything to do with the main plot until recently. So it oddly worked in a weird meta way where he's like, no, I want to actually make a difference and do something and be proactive, and I
Yeah,
appreciated that. So
yeah, because we've been saying for a long time how he doesn't actually do anything. He doesn't play into a lot of things. He's just kind of there on the side for most of it.
yeah, so him, Cheryl goes out to the river where, well, technically it wasn't where Jason died, but where we thought he died, and where they were going to leave together, and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Where all this, and where he was found, obviously, and it's frozen over, snowy setting. The whole episode's kind of covered in snow, and she goes into the under the ice in the water, and Archie, because basically Cheryl sends a text to Veronica, which gives them an idea, which is why this part felt a little bit rushed, squeezing these two plots together, because they literally just went to the south side high school to get Jughead, and it's during the convincing of him that no, stay with us, don't be a tool. They get this text, and they're immediately running off, because they actually run off to get Jughead. There's one of those famous sort of Breakfast Club like shots where they all come sliding out the door from the
it
cafeteria.
made me laugh a little bit because it kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah. I mean, I appreciate it. It's one of those fun, goofy teen kind of scenes where they all come running out of
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
cafeteria,
But
and
it was just the way how they were like, yeah, we got to run, and then it just waits in the hallway. The camera just waits in the hallway for them to run around the
yeah.
corner.
But hey, then they run in the snow because Cheryl's committing suicide, and
And honestly, this is a little bit weird for me. So they stop at the edge and go, "Hey, ice, we shouldn't go on the snow. We shouldn't go on that." You're literally watching Cheryl. She is literally beating the ice to get through. It's not like there's any danger of her falling accidentally. She is using both hands and smacking at it.
you know,
And then she goes under, and they all just sprint on anyway.
I will kind of allow this one. Because to me, it happens so quickly. I feel like they're being overcautious, but then when things get serious and she actually goes under the water, they're like, nah, screw it, and they just run. So I will, in the heat of the moment, I'll give them not thinking
Well,
clearly.
see, that allows, when she goes under and they run on, I can buy that one. But when they literally see her beating at the ice, and like she is forcing her way in, and they're all just like, hey, maybe we should stand back here a minute and just watch.
It's fair. I'm going to let it go, just based on everything's happening quickly. They're not because
Yeah.
it does happen quite quickly. I'm not saying there's no merit in what you're saying. I'll let it go. And obviously Archie has to beat it, and that's what I was getting to. Archie having to actually pummel the ice. Although I have to admit, as good as it was as an emotional moment where he had to feel like he could do something and save someone and actually fix because a big part of the theme of the episode is that the town's kind of screwed. Everyone's feeling dark. Betty's trying not to let it rest because she doesn't like that her family's hiding it and pretending that everyone's okay, and that's obviously a big plot we'll get to in a second. But the fact that he feels he needs to do something, so he's pummeling the ice to save Cheryl, and he does, and it really well shot, her under the water, and you see the blood on the ice and all the rest of it, and his fist is just bloody as hell as he's trying to pummel it. It's all great. I can't help but though during the whole thing think to myself, why are you not using your feet? You've got shoes on.
I know.
It would
I
be
was just
easier.
like, or turn around and go, hey, someone give me one of your shoes.
I mean,
Because I get like not wanting to stamp on it because then you might fall through.
okay, yeah, okay.
But like he's there pummeling. No one. They all just stand there and watch him. None of them go, "Here, Archie, use my shoe."
Even I just like stand up and use one foot. Just stand back and just stamp your foot. It'll hurt less, and it may actually have more force.
You would assume so, wouldn't you?
Okay, I mean, does Veronica have high heels on? I mean, how sharp are they? Chisel at it. That said, although it did make for a good moment, but I couldn't help but think there's an easier. But again, you could almost write that off in the same way as it's the heat of the moment. He has been passionate.
That's the thing. If you're going to use that for one of this part, then you got to use it for both, haven't you?
Yeah, I almost would have appreciated though, since it was kind of meta with him wanting to be useful, if afterwards he went, in hindsight, I could have just used my feet with my shoes on, and it wouldn't have, wrecked my hand quite as much. But oh well. So that's everything so far. I feel like okay, but then there was some other things they added in, like Cheryl burning down the mansion,
Just because.
which really did feel like to me like it just came out of nowhere, because it felt like after the suicide attempt, it was like she had her big moment, her big sort of weakness. She was rescued. Which, by the way, Hermione feels like a complete and utter cow at this point. The way she's like, why is she here? And I'm like, she just attempted suicide.
I know.
It's not like she did anything either. It was her parents. This is it's basically like Family Feud mixed with like, it's not racism, but it's in the same way where she's one of them, so instantly just hate her, get her out of my
Guilt by
sight.
association.
Yeah. And I'm just like, because this entire episode she's a cow, and luckily Veronica, the smart girl, agrees with that summation, because she calls her Lady Macbeth at one point. She's like full on, nah, screw you and screw my father, screw all of this. Maybe adding to the credence that Hermione is behind the shooting at the end. She was like, I'm going to throw a wrench into all this happy family bollocks that's going on.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's enough there that it could easily be her.
Yeah, but anyway, so I felt like, okay, that's Cheryl's. I can kind of buy that Cheryl's plot for the season. That's a kind of nice. Obviously, it's not a happy ending, but it's a nice ending to her character. And then maybe come in season 2, she can be a bit renewed. I can see her being more of the main sort of Scooby team, as it were. Still be our cynical bitches. To be kind of, to bring up Buffy the Vampire Slayer, kind of like Cordelia, kind of evolved from being the outright rival to more of an actual frenemy, where she was with the team.
Speaking of them being a Scooby Gang, I enjoy Jughead's actual, if not for them meddling kids.
Yeah, that was a good reference. Quality reference from Jughead.
Was.
Yeah, even if Jughead was being a little bit especially mopey in this episode, it's like, the multiverse is telling me that I should just go, so maybe I should do everyone a favour. Like,
yeah, but at least his narration's still solid.
His narration's still solid. So that was the other big thing. So we have Cheryl burning down the mansion. We then have the serpents come by Jughead, and I actually really like the scenes with Jughead's dad, like both the scene he had with Archie, and then the scene he had with Jughead himself, where he's like, "Look, you're going to be okay," and Jughead's like, "Yeah, I'm going to be okay," and like I thought those actually had some kind of decent weight to them. FP was kind of like, yeah, I felt like he was being kind of noble. He's kind of shitty at being a father in a lot of ways, but at least here his heart's in the right place, and he's making sure the right people are sort of looking out for him and stuff like that. But so the serpents come over in the middle of our sex montage, because everyone's getting some in the finale.
It's a proper montage.
It's a proper montage, and again, this is where you sit back and go, these are all 16.
You say that, I go, yep, CW.
No, I mean, they're both valid thoughts at that point in the episode.
Yeah.
It was especially the Veronica and Archie side, because that properly felt like just a couple coming back from a park. Because they're at Pops, they're all having milkshakes and stuff, and Jughead's talking about it in the narration. And it's like it's like a couple coming back, like a middle-aged couple coming back from a party, and like, let's have sex. Yeah. Because apparently Veronica's mum's even in the house. She's doped up in Valium, it's fine. That's just keep it relatively quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, ginger stallion. But so they're having this sex montage, but Betty and Jughead get interrupted by serpents who are like, yeah, like your dad could have ratted us out, but he didn't. So as long as he's in there, we've got your back. And I thought, maybe that's a nice little thing. But then they hand him the jacket, and we have this weird moment where Jughead is like, yeah, I'm like a serpent now, and he's got this smirk in his face, and then he looks in at Betty, and Betty's like, what the hell are you doing? Don't be a gangster.
You know what else? This was I don't know if it's happened any other time, but I noticed it here when he was putting on the jacket. He wasn't wearing his hat.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've seen that before this.
I think he's done it a couple of times, but this one was more notable because it was like a transitional thing. Like he's taken off the goofy hat and now he's wearing the jacket. I don't know how I feel about having a plot about Jughead wrestling with maybe being part of a biker gang. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I feel a little bit weird. Now,
maybe he's just an honorary member. He doesn't have to actually do anything.
Luckily, I think Betty looking at him being like, what the hell are you doing, dude, might at least spin it off in the right direction where, okay, yeah, I clearly can't be that. But it felt weird. Like, I don't know if this is the direction to take Jughead in.
Yeah.
Don't know. I was weird with that one. I will say this, though. See, when he was looking back into the Betty, he properly looked like he was or like his dad on the show, FP. There was maybe it was the hair that was sort of flopping down. He's got a similar kind of mouth. I was like, that was good casting. Like I never really noticed him looking alike until now, but just the way he was kind of like hunched over looking in.
No, I agree. I'd not noticed it before this either.
But he really looked like him there,
which makes sense because obviously this is, the moment where he kind of becomes his father's son. Ultimately, he takes the jacket,
which is not a good thing. I mean,
I know. I mean, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that in the sense that the first time you really notice it is the first time he's kind of acting like his dad for the first time all season.
But I think that's why it doesn't work for me, is because I don't think up until this point they've played it off as a danger Jughead's going to be like his old man. I don't think they've ever played it like that.
No, they haven't.
So that this sudden thing where he's putting on the jacket and Betty's worried he's becoming his father, I'm like, since when? Like, he was literally living in like a movie theatre and then at Archie's because he didn't want to go home because he knew what his father was like. It was just... so maybe they can work on that in season 2 and it won't bother me when they actually get to it. But at least the moment just felt really abrupt and weird for me. Meanwhile, Betty writes an article and people spray paint stuff on her locker, calling her a slut because she's
pig's blood.
And pig's blood. Yeah, I made the mistake.
Spray paint. She went to touch it.
I said that offhand without thinking about it.
Yeah. And then Archie's like, where do people even get pig's blood? From the butchers, Archie.
Can you actually just go in and buy like pig's blood? Like, just give me a litre of pig's blood.
I would assume so.
Or a gallon or whatever. Why is that for sale? What is the purpose of pig's blood for a normal use?
Pig's blood? I think you make black pudding with pig's blood, don't you?
Yeah, we can also just buy black pudding from the butchers.
Yeah, but I imagine people will want to make their own.
Okay.
Some people are like that, so...
All right, okay. I'm just pondering. Like, wow. I believe that's where you would buy it, because where else the hell would you buy it? But like, I'm just wondering, what is the actual legitimate use for the pig's blood?
I'm sure black pudding, and there's probably something else that
also
I've not considered.
I feel like group of teenagers go into the butcher's, and they go up to the butcher and say, "We want X amount of pig's blood." Is that butcher standing there going, "This is off a big blood sausage you guys are making here.
Well,
what are you up to?"
Mr. Butcher don't give a damn as long as they pay.
You got it's like selling. I don't know.
Look, okay. They just go to a South Side butcher. No questions asked in there.
The students on the south side are buying pig's blood every weekend. That's just. That's what they drink. That's what they put in the punch. It's vodka and pig's blood. That's what they're drinking.
Intriguing. Unfortunately, I don't really like vodka, so.
So that's the whole thing. The mayor asks her to make a speech and asks Archie to play. He plays with the Pussycats, who I realised we haven't seen in ages. Archie and Veronica are a proper thing. They tell Betty. Betty's cool with it. There was a small moment where it felt like they were going to do the whole jealousy thing, but Veronica actually pointed it out, and at least Archie plays it off as no, that was me like sort of looking at what they have and like being like I want that with you, blah 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 blah.
It's just a question of whether or not you believe him.
I think, at least the way he played it in the scene, I believe him right now. I do think they're going to go down that route eventually because it's the love triangle and it has to happen.
Yeah,
but
it's only a matter of time, isn't it?
At least for now, it's okay. I think if Jughead and Betty break up and then we go down that path, I think then it may be murky's waters. But at least, but at the same time, it's never been a case of he likes Betty and he's just with Veronica. He does like both, so
yeah.
I don't think he's being disingenuous with his feelings with her, at least. And the Pussycats walk in like, oh, this is awkward. I mean, your ex is technically standing there watching you make out with your new honey V, so but they go, and obviously it made me realise, oh, Josie's not been around in a while. It turns out the actress was doing a movie or something for like half the season, and that's why the back half of the seasons had very little Josie and Pussycats. Okay. Which makes sense because I saw people talking about it and I was like, yeah, she was away working and stuff. Apparently they had more plot planned, but
we'll get to it next year.
Yeah, she if she ain't there, but obviously we're expecting a certain Pussycat to be added to the show next season, and hopefully, I'm not sure if Salem will want to be on a band, but if so, it's the perfect band for him. It fits right in.
It's true.
Crowd might react a little bit when he starts singing, but there'll be a novelty element to it, which I think they'll appreciate. So she makes a speech, and it's kind of awkward. She points out the darker stuff in the town and how we should face it and overcome it. And there's the awkward moment, and Jughead starts to clap, and everyone starts clapping because I kind of expected everyone to start clapping, like to see her point and be like, "All right,
kind
okay."
of the moment to play, isn't it?
Yeah, that's certainly what it felt like. I did laugh quite a bit though, because obviously we find out a little bit more about Alice. She confesses up what the secret was. She had a kid. Although I'm not really sure how this shows her dark side, because there was one point her husband said, or she said to him, "You know what I'm capable of." That's still not been explained, so she's still got a secret.
Yeah.
But we find out about a pregnancy she had. She did not have an abortion. She went to the convent, kind of like Polly did, and gave the kid up for adoption. Betty has a brother somewhere out there who'd be in his mid-20s.
It's just a matter of who is it now, isn't it? Who's secretly her brother?
Yeah, so obviously we're getting that next season. We're getting the secret brother popping up at some point.
Every male character introduced from episode 1 of season 2 is like, oh, is it him?
Yeah, but he can't be in high school.
No,
because he's been in his mid-20s, unless he's really stupid and he's been held back for like lots of years.
It is possible.
But no, so. That was the thing. But we'll learn more about her, and she tells Betty not to publish the article. She won't publish it in the actual newspaper or the school newspaper. And but one of my probably a little moment I really liked was when after the whole pig's blood thing, Betty comes home, and like her mother Alice is just sitting there with Paul, and she's like, "You published that article." She's like, "Oh, gee, thanks, Polly." It's like, "Oh, nothing happened. You got slut written on your locker at school." Polly, is there anything you didn't tell her?
And she's like, oh, she was questioning me really hard.
It really made me laugh. Just the second part, which is like, Polly, is there anything you didn't spill? God damn it. Oh, dear. But no, so that was it. Was there anything I missed that you wanted to talk about?
No, I think we covered it. I mean, I think they really played up the Hermione and Fred thing, with the buyout.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, okay, this isn't going to be important next season.
Yeah, definitely was set up. Even if that's not behind the shooting, it's definitely going to be a thing that's brought up. They mentioned that Hiram is coming back in a month, so I guess that's where season 2 is going to pick up.
Yeah, or he's just been back for a couple of months at that point.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I can see it being something that's in Jughead's narration at the start of the first episode next season.
Yeah, the little catch up of
Yeah.
the summer or whatever it was.
Well, it's winter right now in this episode.
It is right now.
So if
That is
if
true.
it starts mid season again and they wanted it to continue a month later, it'd actually work out because it'd be still winter and they would just continue on
Yeah.
as if it's the same year.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see where it ends up in this season.
Yeah, it could be fall. It could be a full 22 number. We don't know.
We have no idea because the CW are awful at telling us these things.
They are. They've not mentioned anything for any of their shows in terms of episode numbers, so we have no idea. But that's where we are. So I did enjoy it. Like there was stuff I liked in the episode, but it did feel like there was too much packed in. Like that like double sex montage with the mansion burning with the jacket thing, and then Archie's dad getting shot. Like it just felt like it was a lot packed into those last like 5 or so minutes.
It's true. Yeah. Also, one awkward moment in the editing, I felt it was, when Archie was up with the Pussycats playing his song, and then it fades out and it goes into Jughead and his dad. I thought it was
Yeah.
going to do a montage over the song, but the song actually cuts out completely. And then when it comes back in, it just plays this awkward piano bit and then cuts back to the song.
Yeah,
It was really jarring.
it's also kind of weird how it goes straight into Betty's speech and then Jughead shows up for the start of her speech. It's like, how close is the police station to this building?
Yeah.
Or is he secretly a speedster? Is this a crossover now with the Flash? Do we have a speedster in the mid?
They're just lying to us about the timing. They didn't happen at the same time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that happens a lot. Actually, it does bug me when people don't get that. Like, sometimes just because they show something happening kind of simultaneously, it doesn't mean it's actually actively happening
It also,
at the same time.
this show gets away with it a touch more because everything is presented through Jughead narrating it. So it's like he's telling a story. So he can, there's some creative leniency is given for
Yeah,
that.
no, that's fair. That's fair. So, no, definitely enjoyable parts, but maybe a bit overstuffed and that kind of thing. So, no, I enjoyed the season. It was definitely trashy. Certainly the existence of a hidden brother. By the way, I'll say this: Alice, she had her hair tied back in that scene, and it was by far the most she's ever reminded me of Shelley from Twin
Yeah,
Peaks.
absolutely.
I was like, oh man, I'm getting total Shelley vibes right here. Because obviously she looks a lot older compared to when she was on that show, but she had her hair tied back a lot in that, so it was just like, oh man, it looks like Shelley. This is weird.
Same thing. I mean, for me, I think the season faltered a bit in the middle, where it kind of got away from the main plot for a good chunk of episodes.
Yeah, I forgot about the case. Obviously, the whole having sex with a teacher thing seemed to be quickly forgotten about, mainly because I think they realised it wasn't that good, and they just wrote it out as quickly as they could.
Yeah, it was. It almost feels like why even do it at all?
I think it was just a case they realised too late, and they had to still
No,
have it
fair
there, and then but just finish it as quickly as they could. And I think it was episode 4 or 5 is when they wrote it out. So
Something like that.
they did it as quickly as they could, but clearly that was a thing. So yeah, obviously we spoke a lot about last week about what we're hoping for season 2, and a lot of it was about Supernatural and Sabrina and talking cats. So we won't go over that again. But I will say, I just hope the core mystery is interesting. I hope this Jughead plot isn't too weird and out of character. But I'm okay for everything else. So yeah, one minor point. Veronica is now the head of the cheerlead squad. She's the head vixen now.
I'm sure that's going to be an integral part of season 2.
Maybe you make some more dancing scenes out of it.
That's true. Why am I complaining?
Yeah, it's just
That was the highlight of the season.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but also more Grandma Blossom. She was proper creepy. That's the closest we've gotten to Supernatural so far. Actually, is creepy Grandma Blossom. She's basically already a ghost.
Yeah. Might as well be.
All right. I do think Archie's dad's going to live. I think if he was going to die, we'd actually end with him dying. Like, that would be the big final moment. Would be him dying.
The fact that they hide it, they come outside and then we see the gunshot is like, okay, so no one's dead. That's kind of what it tells me.
Well, we know he's hit because we see him bleeding after that.
Yeah. But they would show it inside, I think, if it was going to be a death.
Yeah. I feel like if it was going to be a death, it'd be the big bittersweet moment to end on, and we'd go into season 2 with that being the mystery. We still have the mystery of who the gunman was, obviously, but
Yeah.
I think it's going to create a crisis. Multiverses were mentioned. I don't mean a DC Comics style crisis. I just mean a regular style crisis.
Oh man, if the skies turn red.
All right, okay. That has been the season finale of Riverdale. Certainly, the season. Obviously, it's had its low points, but I have mostly enjoyed it. It's been kind of fun, trashy TV.
Yeah.
And you know what? To be fair, we typically go over 20 minutes talking about it, so that at least says there's talking points to have.
Yeah, it's not exactly what I'd call great TV. I'd hesitate to even call it particularly very good TV, but it can be enjoyable. So, how's that going for it?
Yeah, I think there's just enough of a twist on it to make it entertaining. Because I think there's a lot of other teen shows that we would just discard immediately.
Yeah.
You don't really catch us doing like the OC or One Tree Hill. That's one of those ones.
You try to think of any other teen show on earth. Took a while there, didn't it?
Beverly Hills 90210, which I realise is a very dated reference, but oh no, they brought it back actually. I mean, it's already been cancelled again, I think, but they did bring it back for a little while, so it's not that dated a reference.
Yeah.
There we go. That has been the season finale of Riverdale. Let us know what you thought of this episode and the season as a whole, and what you're hoping for season 2 in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and all that stuff. It helps us out a lot. You can also help us out if you want to support us that one bit extra by going over to patreon.com/MailFuzzTV and see what you can sort of get as bonuses for helping us out over there. But otherwise, guys, get us on Twitter at mailed_fudge for channel updates. Individual Twitters are on the screen for Everyday Ramblies, but that's us. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Have you got any vanilla?